You may have heard a law firm or two say that bigger is better. Well, Jim Desmond, who is an attorney, does not believe that's true. And to be honest with you, Jim, after reading my homework, I think I may agree with you, but I want you to make your case. Welcome back to the show, Jim.
Hey, John. Thanks.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
First of all, let's establish that you once worked for one of those big boys, didn't you?
I did. I
Yeah.
speak from experience.
Yeah.
So, unlike a lot of people in town, I actually do have that experience. I worked for one of the big TV advertisers for about 4.5 years. Great experience that I took from there. But it also, to me, was very much like a factory where you can't. You've interviewed me before.
Yes.
I like dealing with my clients. I want them to be able to get a hold of me. I want them to be able to actually tell me what's going on, okay? Because it has to be addressed. When you have a big firm, it's a little bit too much like a factory. It's, you have this big advertising budget behind you, and you have to keep that going. Your case is going basically to take care of that. So, and unfortunately, I think there's an arrogance that comes with it too. So yeah, I'm real critical of big firms. You've heard me before. I've said, look, if you're not going to choose me, that's fine, but go find another good local attorney. I mean, I've been doing this 25 plus years, and there's a lot of good attorneys that I'll give the name out to and say, okay, this is better for him or whatever it might be. But they're not big national firms.
I think you make a good case for this because if anyone's ever had to get on the phone and you're trying to take care of something, trying to take care of an issue, and they keep connecting you to someone else, and you can't say, and you have to tell your story over and over again. When you have a car wreck, that's the last thing you want because there's some urgency here. I got to get back to work. I got to get some medical bills paid. So talk about that process of how you don't mind if people call you on your cell like right away, and they're going to talk to you.
Well, and it's funny, I was laughing because I tried to get through to one firm one time, and I couldn't get through to him because I was trying to give him something else. But no, I mean, that's the whole point, okay? Unlike anything else, a car wreck is immediate. I was thinking about that coming down here. You were expecting me down here for this interview. If I had gotten in an accident, how do I get here? All of a sudden, your plans change. My appointments this afternoon change. I've got to even go pick up my kid from school. It changes everything. So there is an immediacy issue. And that's the problem when you talk about, oh, bigger is better. How do you get through to somebody? How do you get a hold of your attorney? Because none of us expect to be able to, we don't expect a car accident to happen. We all think, I mean, that's no offense against, I have a lot of good clients who are motorcycle riders, but that's why people get on motorcycles. They don't think it's ever going to be their bad case. But it does. And so again, when it does happen, I mean, I think that's what I've seen more than anything else is that clients need some help, and they need some help directly. I had a client, it was kind of funny because right before I came down here, actually I was on the way, but previous client from a couple years ago, which called me about a car wreck, okay, not injured, 30 days old, and they accept liability and everything else, but she's not getting her car, resolved. So again, I said, hey, get me the information, let me do a letter. I'm not going to charge her anything for it. The reason is, again, though, if you think about it, if you call a big firm, oh, you're not injured? Oh, I can't help you, okay? A year ago, I had a case that the lady should have had car insurance. She didn't, but she wasn't at fault. Again, she called two of the big firms and said, oh, can you handle my case? Immediately, you have no insurance, we can't help you, okay? It did affect the value of her claim, but not to the point where I couldn't recover, and she still wasn't happy, and her car got fixed, and we got the medical bills paid. There's too much standardization with the big firms, and I am just sorry, I'm very negative about it. I will say this too, okay, and I've told people this before. I do one thing, and I hopefully do one thing well, which is car wrecks. I don't do medical malpractice. I don't do nursing homes. I don't do any of that other stuff. Maybe in those other areas, you could see that being a better situation where, okay, you want a bigger firm. But for a car accident, you need to be able to get hold of your attorney, whether it's a nighttime, weekend, whatever it might be. I've had people call me from the accident scene before. What information do I need?
Fair enough.
What should I do?
See, that's fair enough. You just said you kind of deferred some business. You said, I don't do that. I do car wrecks. No. And you said something there that really resonates with me. You recommend that if you are in a car accident, have your number either there in the glove box, in your wallet, whatever the case may be, call because you can kind of direct them. Here's what you need to do, right?
Right.
Talk a little bit about some of those recommendations. Yeah.
And actually, let me go to that because that's kind of funny because, okay, that number that you guys usually put up in stuff and everything, the 609 number has been my number for 15 plus years. So you save it because I've saved my clients' numbers. That's how I knew who I was talking to earlier, okay? But to go back to something, yeah, I wish people would save it because let's shoot straight for a second. That bigger is better is a great means of advertising. It's a nice slogan. It works, okay? So that it works in the sense that, okay, you're in an accident, you're going to think about it first,
right?
All right? Is it correct? Is it accurate? Is it really what you want service-wise? No, that's what I'm trying to say to you. But in the same respect, it is one of these little national slogans that, I mean, turn on Louisville from 11 to 1, and we've seen all the slogans and all the animated features and all the names for attorneys and everything else. But guess what? I mean, are they really accurate? No, you want to be able to get hold of your attorney directly. You asked me, and to go back to your question about when you're in a car accident, what happens? What do you need to be able to do? COVID's changed some of that.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that too. It has changed, hasn't it?
Right.
Not a lot of police officers out there, for one. I've noticed.
Well,
right?
and they don't want to come. They don't want to come and do a report for a non-injury accident,
Right.
and I'm not faulting them for that. But again, what do you need to know ahead of time? Well, everything from what to get at the accident scene, which is usually a copy of the driver's license. Take your phone out. Take photos of the car. Take a photo of the person's license. If you can get them to admit that they're at fault, fantastic. Take a picture of the tag. I can run a Kentucky tag with the county clerk. We can find the insurance information the last time that vehicle was registered. Because all these things are important. Unfortunately, you're not thinking about it because, again, you're in the middle of something you didn't expect to be. You were headed, I would have been headed down to this interview if something like that happened. And you were thinking, how do I do this? What do I do? You know, how do I get hold of your producer? All those things. But you got to be in this moment and say, what do I need? Because I'm getting ready for something that I'm going to have for the next year and a half. And I'm going to say something about that. I'm going to go off topic maybe for a second.
Ahead.
But that is one of those that, I mean, again, whether it's me or another attorney, you should know your attorney. Okay, you should. We are in a position of trust with our clients. Okay, we not only see their medical records, we also have to do what's best for them always. And how do you do that if you don't know who it is? I was thinking about that today. I was like, think about something. You and I have had about 3 or 4 interviews, right? Mm-hmm. I've gotten very comfortable with you, so I can talk this way. Wouldn't it be ironic? It'd be hilarious, but you would illustrate my point if for these 5-minute segments or so, every minute you came in, if somebody else came in and started interviewing me, you'd be uncomfortable as all get out.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you develop a familiarity and a trust factor.
Right.
And if that doesn't exist, it's like, okay, I'm starting from ground zero again, right?
Well, and how do you do that with a big firm?
Yeah, there you
okay.
go. Good analogy.
You know, and I got a minute?
Yeah.
Okay. Analogies. This big firm is sitting here saying, oh, it's like a surgeon. You don't want to have somebody doing all these different things. Well, if you think about it, again, that's not the same thing as a car wreck. If you're going to go in for surgery, typically you've got time for a second opinion. You've got time for diagnostic testing, all these things, okay? If your appendix burst, you're walking in that emergency room saying, I need immediate attention. For all those reasons we just said, that's what a car wreck is like, because something I'm relying on every day to take care of my family, my business, you know, and everything else is gone, okay, or at least inoperable. And that's all in addition to the fact that I'm hurting from the situation. My back might be hurting, or, you know, arms, or I don't know if I can do work. And I'm being told by somebody in another insurance company, oh, we can't help you. We don't even know if they're at fault. We don't know. We can't get hold of our insured. You know, that's why you need
perfect sense.
That kind of immediacy. And don't get me wrong, if you can get things in order in the first 10 to 30 days, great. These things slow down, people can concentrate on their treatment. But the first step is, let's figure out who the other person is, were they insured, are they going to accept fault? Let's get your car back in order.
I think it makes perfect sense. I mean, you articulated it very well. Desmond
Thanks.
Law Office, he is Jim Desmond, and yes, bigger is not better. You want to talk to your attorney, you want to talk to Jim Desmond, take that number right there, put it in your wallet, put it in your purse, put it in your glove box, and so if you have an accident, you've got him at your disposal. He will take your call, weekends, at the scene, whatever the case may be. Jim, thank you.
Always good seeing you, John. Thank you.
Good to see you as well.